shout out goes out to our current channel members. If you were interested in picking up a channel membership for as little as $1.99 a month, head over to my channel profile and hit the join button to view all of the available perks. Thanks. In all honesty, I wasn't even going to make this video originally at all. This news is pretty much days old at this point. However, since then I've seen this subject slowly but surely gain traction in the Ninjago community, and now, well, here we are. So, have huge details surrounding the Crystalized Finale just been revealed, or is this entirely fake? And, well, what does all of this mean in the first place? Well, let's get into that. So, as with quite a lot of new information, this does actually circle back to Twitter. That is where it comes from. So to begin with, I will just be going over this and reading it to you, and then after that I will be elaborating more on this entire subject and discussing what's actually happening here. Okay then, so this reads the following. Possible heavy spoilers for Crystalized Finale. I'm risking my career for saying this, but I worked on the last episode of Ninjago 2019. Lloyd, Akita, Harumi, Pixel, Nia, Skylor, Vanya, and Wu are at a statue of the four-dragon ninja. Lloyd is holding a baby and it reaches out to the statue and he says, quote, "Settle down, Garm Jr. These are your uncles, Kai, Jay, Zane and Cole. They were my ninja, and we watched them go on to be the masters of Spinjitzu. It is hinted that the child is Lloyd and Akita's, and the babies that Nia, Skylor, Pixel, in brackets here, it's a robot baby, and Vanya are the ninjas' children who inherited their powers." And that's it for this one. So, as you can see, this is kind of the start of a next generation ninja type thing going on with all of these babies. But to get the big question out of the way first, is this real or not? I'm going to say it's fake. Now, we don't really have too much evidence either way as to whether or not it's actually real or if it's fake. However, let me just say this. Literally anybody on the internet could type this out and come out with it. For example, I could create a fake account, go onto Twitter and come up with the exact same stuff, and that would be it. You wouldn't really have any proof as to whether or not it's actually real. So, anybody could really be writing this, so ultimately we really do not know if it's real or not. However, the most safest option here is to assume that it's entirely false, because again, we have no evidence. A lot of people have been falling for it once again and saying that it's real, but ultimately we literally have no proof of that either way. So yeah, it's out there, we have this information, we just don't know if it's real or not. It's safer to assume it's probably fake, but only time will tell, I guess. Now, as for my thoughts on this entire thing, I think it's kind of, well, interesting. Although I think some of it is overly cheesy in a way. I do like where the direction here is going, but at the same time it feels kind of very fan-fiction-y, if you know what I mean. It doesn't really feel like actual Ninjago and something that the show would actually do. However, I do kind of like elements of it. For example, I like this whole idea of the next generation ninja stuff going on with all of the babies. However, again, it just kind of feels like a bit too much, and I really couldn't imagine Crystalized ending in this way. Again, it just feels like a little bit too much, and I'm not really too sure if I would be happy with it, because it just feels like someone's fanfic that you'd read online, and it doesn't really feel like anything from the actual Ninjago TV show itself, if you guys understand what I mean. If you've seen Ninjago fanfictions out there, I'm sure you catch my drift. But ultimately and overall, I don't really think I'm the biggest fan of this. Again, there are certain elements here that I do find interesting, to say the least. But yeah, overall, I'm not really the biggest fan of this. And if this was how Crystalized was going to be ending, I wouldn't necessarily be disappointed, but I would think it was kind of odd. However, if this was to truly actually happen, I guess it really just comes down to how it's actually executed in the show, because this is just kind of the layout for what's happening. We don't know necessarily how this would properly play out in the episode. For all we know, if this was real, it could end up being a lot better than what it seems like here. But overall, I think that just about does it for this one here. Pretty insane. I wasn't going to make this at first, but it's kind of been spiraling out of control recently in the Ninjago community, and it's become more and more of a big topic. So, yeah, with all of this being said, what do you guys think? Drop your thoughts down below, I would love to hear them. If you enjoyed this video here, drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel for more very similar to this, and hit that notification bell so you guys can be the first to watch my new content as soon as it does release every day. And with all of this being said, I'll see you all tomorrow for my next one. Goodbye.